next video of our US study info. This video actually we are going to see the process of applying to the universities. That is the application process which we are going to do for the shortlisted universities of 7 to 10 universities which we have shortlisted. That video which we have seen previously. So this application process is a very important one because out of 7 to 10 universities which we are going to apply, we should be able to get at least in 70% of the universities which we are applying. So that marks the success of our application process. Actually, if you follow what are all the things which I'm telling in this video and the tips and the experience which I have gathered during the application process, most probably you also will be able to get at least in 70% of the universities which you are applying. Before we can start the application process, we need certain particulars at hand in our hands for the application process. I will give you the list of particulars which we should have it ready. First is our resume or curriculum vitae. Second thing is statement of purpose. Third one, our transcripts. The fourth one, our test scores like GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, like that. The fifth one is letter of recommendations. The sixth one is our certificates which we got by doing internships or job work experience certificate or paper publication or project publications or project work, other extracurricular activities certificates which we have participated or won or actually conducted, like those things, and other credentials, whatever form we have it. And now at last but not the least, a writing sample, which is actually another form of statement of purpose which I will actually discuss while discussing about the statement of purpose. So now resume gives our details, personal details, parents names, our name, age, date of birth, then our passport number, address, our schoolings, our college, major, everything, our hobby, all this stuff. It's not a very valuable one, or we need not spend too much time in it. Whatever actually we have done all these things, we can actually put it and make a resume. Fine. The next one is statement of purpose. Generally universities, they expect the statement of purpose to be around 1,000 words is the word count. Statement of purpose is nothing but kind of an essay about our own self. The university mostly expect an individualized statement of purpose from every candidate who they are applying for. So it should be an individualized one where the essay should narrate our educational achievements during our graduation course, undergraduate course, or during the schoolings, and how you developed an interest or what motivated you to do your graduational study which you are applying for, and what are all the efforts you have put for applying for this graduation course, and if given chance, what will be your contribution towards the university which you are going to join for your graduation course, and what are your future plans after finishing your graduation course. If you can add details, little bit of details about the university, the department, and the staff, how they are doing, little bit of homework if you do and actually add up all these things into the statement of purpose, it would add more value and it will put you in a very good light or very big chance of getting admit into that particular university. So this is how actually you can formulate a statement of purpose. Many people actually they go for professional writers because there are content writers who are actually available right now who can write a statement of purpose for you and actually give you. But generally it's not required. You guys can actually sit in your own house and actually in your own words, in very simple words, instead of using complicated words you can use a very simple vocabulary and write the statement of purpose of your own. For an individual whose CGPA is not that good or an average CGPA, and your statement of purpose is so good and very unique one, it will fetch you an admit in a Ivy League university. I'm talking about one of the top universities in US. But some universities they are actually asking statement of purpose in a different name. They would ask you to write an essay about yourself, or they would ask you to write an essay not more than 300 word count about your future ambitions. So what I would say is if you can write 1,000 word SOP, you can have it as a base and you can use these things for all the universities which you are actually going to apply, around 7 to 10 universities, based on the questions what they ask in the statement of purpose. You can split it or you can actually post it to the same one just by changing the name of the university which you're applying, and you can post it. So this is how actually you can make use of your own SOP. Okay, and a little bit of another information I wanted to share here is about a writing sample. A writing sample is not a statement of purpose. If an university is asking you to provide a statement of purpose and after which they're asking you to submit a writing sample, it's not an edited version, or actually it is not a briefed out version of your SOP. Writing sample is totally different. They will definitely ask you what the content should be in the writing sample. For example, Duke University, they have asked a statement of purpose, okay, where you have to mention everything what I told you before, and they asked to submit a writing sample. Actually, it was an application for artificial intelligence, and they asked this question: which one thing in the future will change the world or rule the world, and what is your view on it? So in this, actually my daughter has given actually idea that the artificial intelligence is going to take almost everything or every field it's going to be, but she particularly mentioned about the medical field and one particular field in medical field where actually it will be playing a very major role in the future. And she made a little bit of an kind of a essay, a small essay within 300 words, and she actually posted it actually, or she actually uploaded it as a writing sample, which was totally not the content which was in the statement of purpose. So writing sample is a bit different one, so be aware of that. Transcripts. As far as transcripts are concerned, nothing but actually it is a mark sheets which you have got during your undergraduate studies. Those things are called they considered as transcripts. But they expect you to give as transcripts, which is provided by your particular university where you're doing undergraduation. If you have finished your undergraduation, you can apply for your transcript in your university. There is a form for each and every university has its own way of applying for the transcripts, and you have to apply and get those transcripts and keep it with you. And you can even take it as a you can actually take it as a photo and convert it into PDF format of all the mark sheets into a single PDF file. Students who are actually doing the final year and who are applying for the graduation studies, they can take the mark sheets as photographs and convert it into a PDF file as a single PDF file, or even apply for individual transcripts of each semesters from your respective universities, and those things also you can take a photo and actually convert it into a PDF file as a single file, and you can have it with you. Consolidated transcripts are given once you complete or you pass out all the papers in your undergraduate course. That is given by the university. If you have one, it's well and good. That's a single transcript where the whole subjects, all the subjects you have done during undergraduation will be mentioned in that, and whether you've passed and when you have passed, all those details will be given. So this transcript, it's a very important certificate or a document which actually the universities are expecting you from. Now, some universities, they actually accept the PDF file which you have actually taken a photograph and converted the PDF file as a single file, they'll accept it. But some universities, they expect you to send your mark sheet or a transcript to an educational evaluator. Those evaluators, they evaluate your transcript subject wise, because your CGPA will be different from the CGPA which you are applying for, to the university which you are applying for. Generally in India, the CGPA is for a score of 10, whereas in US, 99% of the universities, the CGPA score is out of 4. So CGPA will be calculated according to their CGPA. That is, out of 10, it will be calculated out of 4 by this evaluators, and they will actually present it to the universities if you are requesting them to do so. For that, you have to pay those evaluators, and you have to go to the evaluators mentioned by the university, not in and every evaluator which you think. The universities will mention the evaluators whom you should go and evaluate, and it should be submitted. Whereas in Duke University, they will direct you to a website. The application itself will direct you to a website where you have to go in, you have to feed in your subjects and your grades and your credit points, and that will convert automatically into the CGPA what the university is looking for. It's a Scholaro is the name of the website, but Duke University didn't ask them to evaluate it and give a certificate. They asked to take a screenshot or a photo, and they asked us to actually put it in a Word format or Excel format of those things and take the copy of it, and they asked us to submit. Each and every university, they have their own area of doing, but mostly they will ask you to upload your transcripts in a PDF form. That's more than enough. Letter of recommendation. Letter of recommendation is given by, if you're a student and you don't have a work experience, at least 3 letters of recommendation are required, which should be given by your educational institution where you have done your undergraduation. That is the most appropriate one. They don't expect you to give it from any other person. It is always wise to get it from your educational institution where you've done your undergraduation, from your head of university or from your principal or from your professor or assistant professor. They don't mind, but it should be from your university where you've done your undergraduation, or your college where you've done your undergraduation, and from the people whom you were involved with. For example, a professor might have actually, or an assistant professor might have helped you actually in a project, or actually would have taken you some classes, some subjects. So you can get the letter of recommendations from them. Whereas for students who are working, I would advise to get two LORs from your university where you studied, or college from where you studied, and one LOR from your team leader or your manager or whoever is your superior or whomever you are under, whose guidance you have been working with. Okay? This is about LOR. Now, I'm going to talk about the test reports. Test reports are nothing but GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo. Mostly universities, they'll give you a code. As far as GRE is concerned, they'll give you the university code and they will ask you to submit the GRE score mentioning that particular code of the university and submit it. It's not a very difficult procedure. It has to be done online. It's easy. Likewise, IELTS also. They'll ask you to submit, or they'll ask you to upload the IELTS score sheet or scorecard, and the number, that is actually the IELTS candidate number and all this stuff, and your score, whatever you scored. Sometimes they'll ask you to submit it digitally. That is, you have to go to the IELTS website, and there you have to go into the e-tariff, apply. There you have to apply it. IELTS actually gives 5 digital submissions free if you have done it, after which they charge you for each digital submissions. They charge you around 250 Indian rupees for each digital submission. Whereas some universities, for example, again, it's Duke only. Duke actually asked my daughter to submit this IELTS score in a physical form. So that also the IELTS will do, but they charge you 1,500 rupees for couriering this mark sheet of yours, that is directly to the university. So you have to carefully go through the university website for the application process, especially for the international students application process, what is being mentioned, how you have to submit all these codes and all these things. Because one or two things, if you don't submit it in the way which they are expecting or they are asking you to do, your application will be in a pending state where your application will never be reviewed unless and until all these prerequisites are being fully over, submitted by you. Then only they will take your application for consideration for review, and it will go to the panel where they actually review your application and decide about whether you will be giving you admit or not. As far as the application is concerned, most of the universities, they have their own website where you can actually apply directly by means of creating your login credentials over there and register yourself and giving your detail and your mail ID and then creating an account, and then by means of logging in you can actually start your application. You can do that. Some universities, they are tied up with eCash. That is actually a third party a person, or actually an I would say a third person actually who takes care of this application process, scrutinizing and all this stuff. So, but actually it will be directed through the university website itself. So that way actually you can submit all these particulars and actually you can wait for your decision. Some universities you can apply through third party portals, that is portals like Kaplan Pathways, Study into Study. All these people actually they have tie-ups with some universities where you have to submit all your particulars to those people, and those people will carry forward your details to the particular universities or the list of universities you select from those websites, and they will take your application process to the university, respective universities, and you will get a decision whether you get admitted or not. But this third party websites uh, process is a little bit of a slower one, and it's at times it might become an unreliable one. So I would suggest you to go directly into the university portal and apply for these universities. We got everything like LOR, SOP, everything. We start applying everything. After filling all the particular details, everything, at the end, the most important thing is they'll ask us to pay the application fee for submission of the application. Yeah, it's quite a big amount which we have to spend initially during the application process, because around 80 to 90,000 most of the students they spend initially during the application process is actually for the application fee itself. So if you can follow one or two things which I say, you can actually cut down this cost to around 30,000. That is, I'm talking about from 90, 80, 90,000 to 30. So around 50,000 you can cut it down if you just follow these small things, and you can get a waive off from the application fee. Duke University, in fact, I was searching for application fee waiver code everywhere in many ways, but I couldn't get one. What I did was I just registered, went to the Duke University website, I browsed through it, and I went through the admission events calendar into the Duke University, and especially the event calendar related to the course which my daughter is applying for, and found out an event they are conducting. Like, in fact, actually applied for artificial intelligence. So there was an event conducted by the Department of Computer Science, Artificial Intelligence, particularly for that particular course. They were conducting an event, so we registered for that event and attended. It's a virtual event, and attended the virtual event. And as we attended the virtual event, actually they waived off the application fee for my daughter, and they didn't give any code. They have their own way of waiving off the application fee, because as it was registered in the name with the mail ID, they I went into the application list, and they found out my daughter's name with that mail ID linked to it, and they waived it off. So we were able to submit it without paying application fee. Likewise, other universities, we attended the admission events. It's not application event, it's admission events pertaining to that particular course or that particular department. And while attending the event itself, we can ask, it's a Zoom meeting, we can ask actually questions about regarding the course curriculum and all these stuff. We can get all those details during. So it's a very informative session, I would say, where I got details about the curriculum and all these things. And during the course, I even asked for the application fee waiver, and they even provided one. Some university, in fact, the starting of the event itself, they provided the application fee waiver code. it was a common code who attended that particular day was able to get it. So likewise, I've attended many events like that. I got many application fee waiver codes with me and have made use of it. My Telegram channel, I'm posting the application, sorry, I'm posting the admission events when whenever they are conducting, and whenever it's possible, whenever it comes to my notice, or whenever actually, like I have it in my calendar what are all the events which I have actually registered for, and what are the events, upcoming events, and all these things. I have a list. I update it in my Telegram channel, and I actually post the admission events for very good university. I'm talking about actually universities like Stevens Institute of Technology, San Jose University, then Illinois Institute of Technology, University of Michigan, Dearborn. All these universities actually they conducted, and we got the application fee waiver. And University of Delaware, and then George Washington University. So like that. So you also can do that. And if you follow my Telegram channel, you'll be able to see the events which I'm posting it, so that you can register and actually get the fee waiver code. Thank you.